Express's YouTube channel. We are going live as the phase one of the Lok Sabha elections. The voting is underway. 102 seats across 21 states will vote in this phase. This is an election where the BJP-led NDA is hoping for a third term, and it has put out a very strong goal for itself. It has underlined that it wants 400 seats this time around. Um, this particular phase, we will see Tamil Nadu's all seats, that is 39 seats in Tamil Nadu voting, as well as the 5 seats in Uttarakhand. Alongside that, we have 8 seats in Western UP, 3 seats in North Bengal, 6 seats in Madhya Pradesh, 5 seats in Maharashtra, which also includes one seat in Manipur, which has been torn apart by violence over the last year. First up, we are talking to Liz Matthew, who is the deputy editor of the Indian Express. She's been covering the BJP and other governance-related issues for a while now. Thank you so much for joining us. I wanted to ask you what is the BJP's central pitch as they head into this election, where they want to repeat their win and they want to come back to power with a much stronger majority. What are they appealing to the people?
Yeah, the main factor is Modi factor, undoubtedly, because I would say BJP say that Modi would say, Prime Minister Modi would say, Modi guarantees. But BJP's, election engineering has been centered around Prime Minister Modi, his credibility, his popularity, his governance record, his decisiveness. Everything is Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his record of 10 years. That has been BJP's election campaign. That's the mainstay of the party's election engineering so far. So uh, when the prime minister he talks about the Modi guarantees. He talks about, and the party manifesto also talks about improving the lives. In the on the ground, the conversation is not much about Modi guarantees. Of course, prime minister is there, and his popularity and his credibility, like I said, that is their part of the conversation. But on the ground level, people talk about issues. I mean, in terms of giving credit to the BJP in Uttar Pradesh, some seats are going for polls. Uttar Pradesh, they talk about the law and order, the improved law and order, and in like the educated people would sort of talk about how Prime Minister Modi has elevated India's stature among the international community to Desh ki garima badaya. That is Prime Minister's one main, advantage, or the achievement the voters talk about. And see, like Rajasthan and all, people talk about the welfare measures, but not just the welfare measures initiated by the Modi government. They also talk about the ones which were initiated by the previous Congress government led by Ashok Gehlot. Unemployment is an issue. If you on the ground, people talk about unemployment. I am not saying, or I am not very sure, because in the past also, in the past elections also, we have seen and we have heard the electorate talking about unemployment, but whether that is going to influence their voting, on the day of polling, today, like on April 1902 constituencies, and the electorate, the voters there went to the polling booth and cast their vote. So far it's crossed to almost 50%. The first people have voted, but whether they were influenced by an issue like unemployment, I am not very sure. Only when the result come, because like in the past it wasn't. So whether it would go to when when a voter go to the polling booth and cast his vote, whether that will hang in his mind or over his thoughts, we don't know.
So we'll get into specifics of individual states later.
Mhm.
But when we're talking about like central plans of the BJP leading up to the election, there was the consecration of the Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, which has been one of the most strongest ideological projects of the BJP. When you travel across these different states, do you find any resonance on the ground, or do people talk about local issues? Or even if they do talk about local issues and talk about issues like unemployment, we're not entirely sure whether those will bear on their mind when they go to vote.
Yeah, see, that was very interesting when on the ground, people do not talk about the Ram Mandir issue. Either they are taking it for granted that something that was bound to happen, or they think that temple is not an issue that you should see. They may have several other reasons to vote for Modi and BJP, but I did not feel, or I did not find temple is one of those reasons. Like for example, some women will say, like, of course mandir is there. If you ask, they say, ah yeah, mandir है, वो तो होने वाला था, लेकिन law and order is the issue. And other issue, they'll say that Yogi ji has improved the law and order situation here, or Modi ji has done this. Modi ji is the only leader. There's no opposition. Opposition parties are missing. So it's only leader whom we are hearing and listening to and seeing is Prime Minister Modi. So we that is the reason. That's one reason that they are seeing. But you know Mandir is, of course, not in the conversation people have. I am not saying that there are no people who would vote to BJP because of Mandir, but generally, among the general electorate, the common people, it is not much of a conversation.
That's very fascinating. And also, I think we can zero in on Tamil Nadu because
Mhm.
all 39 seats in the state are going to polls. And having covered the BJP, you could perhaps tell us about how the BJP was placing special focus on the state. And Tamil Nadu is also seen as the last frontier for the BJP, right? It has never been able to make inroads into the state. But are they confident this time around that they can make a mark? What do you think is the situation like within the BJP circles?
Yeah, initially you said that the target Prime Minister Modi has set for BJP is 370 plus 400 for the NDA, National Democratic Alliance. We know that in the last 2019 election, the BJP has kind of saturated in states like Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, Rajasthan, Delhi, Haryana. The party has Gujarat. The party has saturated in many of their Hindi heartlands. Like even if you talk about Bihar, BJP has won almost all the seats they contested. In Maharashtra also, it is 98 plus percent, striking rate and for the BJP. So there is not much for the party to win from these states or the so-called Hindi heartlands, which is so-called bastion of the BJP in this election. So obviously, when you are upping the target, you need to have more, what the BJP's language initially they call it new catchment areas. They should have new catchment areas. So the Coromandel states, they call the coastal states, down the south, that was one of the catchment area. And initially, when they planned, even West Bengal and Odisha were the states, and the party had improved, the party had worked well, and the party had, that in 2019 from 102 to BJP's tally has gone up to 18, and in in Odisha also they have gone up, but not as they expected or as they wanted in 2019. So Odisha is one of the new area, and in the south, Karnataka, the BJP has again almost saturated. They had 25 out of 28, so they don't have, and the Congress being in power in that state now after the last assembly election, the party doesn't have much hope to improve there. So they shifted their attention to Tamil Nadu and Telangana. And Telangana, in the last assembly election, they have improved the number in terms of voting percent, but not much in terms of the seats. So, right from 2019, when Prime Minister Modi returned to power, you have seen how much focus Prime Minister Modi and the party have been giving to Tamil Nadu. The conducting of the second informal India China bilateral talks there in Mamallapuram. to quoting Tiruvallur, Bharati, to talking about Tamil culture coming in Veshti, to the Prime Minister Modi has done a lot symbolically to woo the Tamil voters, and also that language barrier is there. There is also a cultural barrier the BJP has, so they try to kind of cover it. And recently, Prime Minister Modi and the party have taken up the Kachathi issue, although it didn't find much traction among the voters. They kept trying, um, to make the voters feel, and this Tamil Kashi Sangam, that's also another major step. And of course, Prime Minister Modi is popular. May not be among the Dravidian political party supporters, but there is another supporters. Like for example, the BJP's alliances in Tamil Nadu, with PMK and other parties, where which the party which has the support of a section of society which do not much affiliated to the Dravidian politics. The Vanyas community is one of them. The PMK, Ramadas led PMK, the BJP has made alliance with. So the BJP is looking into a niche market there and trying to gain many seats. The party had tried its best to have keep its alliance with ADMK, but still, to be very honest, there is a mind block among the voters for the BJP. Although Prime Minister Modi is popular, they still have an issue because BJP still by a large section of people in Kerala and in Tamil Nadu, and to an extent in Andhra Telangana, to an extent, they see BJP as a North Indian party. So, Defense Minister Rajnath Singh, whenever he speaks in Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Kerala, he speaks in the local language. He tries to increase the number of sentences he adds to his speech. That's all they try.
Right. So in Tamil Nadu, what will be their ideal situation? Are they looking at, realistically speaking, when you speak to all of these senior leaders, are they looking at increasing seats, or is it a vote share game that they're looking at for this election?
Ideally, party wants to have seats because they already won one. They had opened their account in Kanyakumari. They had high hopes in Coimbatore, but the ADMK's presence as a third uh, party there in the it's a triangular election. So that will kind of diminish BJP's prospects there. BJP ideally would like to have more seats, but realistically speaking, many leaders admit that it is very difficult for BJP to win a number of seats, although they have hopes in 4 or 5 constituencies. But BJP says that at least 5 to 6 to 7 constituencies they might come second as the second largest party. But you know that at the end of the day, the numbers matters. I think it is still difficult for BJP to win a number of seats from the state, but definitely the party would win more votes thanks to Modi ji's the support or kind of popularity among the among the Tamilians. But I mean, for BJP, this appointing Annamalai to many issues, they were hoping that this would work. Um, I think what happens is that very formidable alliance. The DMK has put up. It's kind of rainbow alliance in terms of representing different parts of the society. So that actually could be a roadblock for BJP to win seats. But definitely the party is not going to give up on Tamil Nadu, and they will continue to work there and see that it is finally reached to a position where the party must be winning some seats from there.
You earlier spoke about saturation in the Hindi heartland. I think we can talk about Rajasthan in particular because you traveled there during your days. So in Rajasthan, you had an interesting point about how people are not just speaking about welfare politics and policies of the BJP. They're also talking about the Congress's welfare policies. and of Gehlot as well. Now, last time Rajasthan, the BJP had won all seats,
25 out of
all
25.
25, right? So this time, do you think there is it's slightly a lot more trickier because of the merger for
Gaylord, but tough fight in at least 4 5 constituencies. If I name, the Churu where Party Rebel is, Rahul Kaswan, who joined from the BJP to Congress, he's putting up a very good fight. And Almo, this I think another constituency. There at least three constituencies are there where the party leaders themselves are admitting that they are facing very tough. And there are some other issues, not just the welfare issues. See, the leader, the chief minister, after Vasundhara Raje, who was a towering figure in the state politics, she's been replaced by Bhajanlal Sharma. He is yet to get that, I mean, Prime Minister Modi picked him up for certain reasons, but he's yet to get that support and like capture the minds, in the state. That is one reason that people are still talking about yellow. Second issue is this: farmers are angry there. There are farmer bells. The Jards are angry. There is Jad community has not just the farmers issue, and also the community wise also they have issues. Nagaur is one of those constituencies which I wanted to say that it is apparently a very big fight, tight fight. Then that is one reason farmers. And another thing is, that this belt, Punjab, Haryana, Himachal, Uttarakhand, and parts of Rajasthan, they have lots of this soldiers. I mean, that in the army there is a lot of it. So there is a I mean, I would say that vehement anger among the people against this Agnivir scheme. So and we have seen even defense minister making a statement in Jaipur during a press conference, I think last week, that we are ready to kind of make changes in the scheme. So Agnivir scheme, there is this, in the Uttarakhand also it is there. So again, I said, these are the issues people talk about. They are not talking about Modi ji's guarantee or even Congress's nyay or something. But people talk about these issues. Whether they will convert that into a vote against BJP, we don't know. Like in politics, we say that if there is a coin, the coin stands still if there are people wants to remain, retain wants to retain the status quo. It's a coin. You need a lot of anger to flip the coin to the other side, to kind of to force somebody to go and vote against the ruling party. Another thing I wanted to talk about here is the opposition's kind of absence on the ground. Maybe we can talk about it later.
Yeah, yeah. But thank you so much for joining us and analyzing the issues on the ground as we head for phase one of polls. We have a long election season ahead, and
Yes.
we'll hope to have you back again to discuss more and more things. We also have with us Avnish Mishra, who is our Uttarakhand correspondent, Asad Rahman, who covers UP for the Indian Express, and Sukrita Barua, who is based in Guwahati and she covers the Northeast. We will first talk to Sukrita, who has been covering Manipur since the violence began. She's also done a wonderful ground report from the state just a couple of days ago, just seeing how the mood is on the ground as we head to elections in Manipur. So Manipur's two constituencies are heading to elections in phase one and phase two. Inner Manipur is going to is voting today. Sukrita, hi, thank you for joining us. Um,
Yeah, I just wanted to correct you. Even Outer Manipur is voting today. So a part of Outer Manipur is voting today, especially the parts which have been affected by the violence, and the remaining parts which have been mostly peaceful are voting in phase two. So actually, all the most important parts of the state are voting today.
Right, right. So you were done this ground report. traveling across the state, trying to analyze what is the situation on the ground as we had two polls. What did you find while you were traveling? And what was the sentiment on the ground? Are people being able to vote? What did they tell you when you traveled across the state?
We have to understand that this is an election unlike any other which is taking place in Manipur. It's taking place under like the shadow of violence, which is almost reaching a year now, and it's very much alive. It's very much present. The conflict is not over. So that is the consideration that is on everybody's minds. Inner Manipur is the constituency which covers most of the Meitei majority valley, and here we have 6 candidates in the fray. It's been quite hotly contested. We have the BJP's candidate, who is a sitting minister in the state government, Thanaujam Basanta Singh, and we have from the Congress, we have JNU professor Bima Lokoijam, who's actually making his debut in politics. And he's kind of he decided to take the plunge into active politics, though he's been a commentator for a really long time. And we have a couple of more popular. So we have 2 popular former actors who joined politics now, and we have 2 independents. But the primary, contest is between the BJP and the Congress. And even though it's seen as a pressing election, it's been a very low-key campaign, because there's not a lot of public sentiment in favor of an election during this time. A lot of people think that the act of going out and asking for votes is in poor taste at this point of time. A lot of people think that elections shouldn't be held at all at this point of time. So that was a public sentiment that was there, and this was further reinforced by this diktat that was issued by Arambai Tengol, which is a radical armed group based in the valley. Which kind of order that there can be no public campaigning and so on. So it was a very quiet campaign, but the issue that was central to on all voters' lips for all the candidates was the conflict. In the relief camps in particular, where you have people displaced from the Kuki-dominated areas who had to move back to the valley, there's not a lot of sentiment in favor of elections. A lot of people, across both outer and inner Manipur, when I spoke to people, there was a lot of sentiment against the government, because they feel like a lot of they're not happy with the kind of measures which have been taken to check the violence, to resolve the issue. But as we're seeing today, that might not be the only situation. Today we're seeing a lot of muscle power being exerted in the valley areas in particular. We're seeing poll violence. There's a lot of complaints of intimidation, armed people who are reportedly present at polling stations. We have vandalism reported at multiple polling stations. So like I said, though in multiple conversations with people, there's a lot of discontent, but there are a lot of different factors that play in the Manipur elections. And it's hard to tell how that discontent is going to play out in Inner Manipur, at least.
It was a muted campaign, and there were all these directives also issued for campaigning to not take place. So how did the candidates navigate around this? How did they address the conflict, whose shadows obviously looming large on this election? How did they go about that? And what did the various candidates, when they spoke about the conflict, what did they speak about?
So the BJP and its part has been really foregrounding some recent decisions taken, and to try and contain this conflict. Home Minister Amit Shah came for what was actually the only major public meeting that we've seen happen in Manipur, in the Manipur elections. He was there recently. And the steps that they're kind of foregrounding is the decision to fence the entire Indo-Myanmar border, which was taken earlier this year, the decision to scrap the free movement regime with Myanmar. So you have to understand that at the center of, the discourse of this conflict on the Meitei side, across Meitei civil society and Meitei politicians, has been the allegation that the conflict has stemmed from uncontrolled illegal immigration from Myanmar of Chin people who are of the same ethnicity as the Kukis in Manipur, and that this kind of demographic instability is what has triggered this conflict. So the BJP has been foregrounding issues to try and curb this, in quotes, illegal immigration. and has been saying that these are long-term steps that we are taking to address the core issues. Now, the Congress's candidate has been alleging that, the BJP is still trying to polarize this conflict and trying to, further is scratching at wounds basically. And his primary thing has been that, the promise of working towards reconciliation, the idea that, people need to continue, both Cookies and Metis need to learn how to live with each other on the other side of this conflict. So that has been his central pitch, even though he is also he also talks about illegal immigration, and he talks about a need to contain it, and he's also a votary of conducting an NRC in Manipur. So those are the two main pitches by the main candidates, and the campaigning has largely been in the form of micro meetings, going to different localities, meeting 20 people at a time, 30 people at a time, a very small muted campaign in that sense.
I also want to ask you if community leaders play a role in sort of like appealing to voters to vote in a particular direction, because we've seen that ethnic violence is between the Methi community and the Kuki community. Do these community leaders play a role now when the state is more polarized than ever?
I think, though it may be true of both sides, I think it's a lot more overt in the case of the Kuki Zomi communities, which is what I found during the course of my reporting. So these Kuki Zomi majority areas mostly come under the all of them come under the Outer Manipur constituency, which covers the tribal areas of Manipur as well as a small part of the valley, right? So you have the Nagas, who form actually the largest chunk of voters in this constituency, and then the Kukis and a portion of Metis, that are actually around 30% of Metis. So here, in this election, what has been interesting is that there have been no Kuki Zomi candidates, no candidates from the community, and all the candidates are Nagas. So actually, it's a very strange situation that kind of played out in the run-up to the elections. A lot of people I spoke to, they had in the Kuki Zomi areas, they had a lot of strong sentiments, obviously a lot of strong opinions about the conflict, about how the government has handled the situation, about who a good candidate might be. But almost all of them said that, ultimately the decision will be taken by our community leaders, and whether there should be a boycott, whether they should go with Nota, or whether there's a particular candidate who would best represent the interests of the community. So, when I met the community leaders, they said that by community leaders, I mean heads of CSOs, like the Indigenous Tribal Leaders Forum and the Kuki Impi Manipur. So they were meeting and speaking to the different candidates, and they said that they are trying to come up with, the best pick for them. But a few days before the elections, some of the organizations in Kangpokpi, which is one of the Kuki Zomi dominated districts, they called for an abstention from elections, basically asking people not to vote. So though voting has been happening in Churchandpur district, which is one of the Kuki Zomi majority districts, but today, as of now, from the reports, there's been very low voting, and the voting that has been taking place is largely by the Nagas and Nepalis who reside in that area.
Right. You earlier mentioned instances of violence, and you mentioned that there were, in certain polling booths, there's certain armament, and there's issues of intimidation, etc. Could you flag these specific instances, and could you also talk about the polling percentage so far? How is it looking like on the ground?
The polling percentages about the official numbers which have come in, if you can just give me a minute, they're they're at par with the national. I mean, as of 3 p.m. it was at 62.58%, while the national average across the country was at 49.78%. I'm still waiting for more clarity on exactly what's playing out in terms of the intimidation, but there have been reports of armed people being present at polling stations, trying to capture booths, intimidating polling agents and voters. There's a lot of material. There are a lot of complaints of voters themselves complaining and saying that they're being forced to vote for the for the BJP. And the Congress candidate has also been complaining about intimidation of agents and so on. Apart from that, there have been instances of shooting in Khurai in Imphal East. A person received a gunshot injury after somebody opened fire there. There was also a firing incident in Moirang, which is in Bishnupur district. So there are at least 2 instances of gunfire which has happened, and there is a confirmed instance of an EVM being destroyed in in an area in Imphal East. And informally I've received inputs of in at least like 2-3 other places of polling stations being vandalized and EVMs being damaged. So I think by at the end of polling we'll have a clearer idea of what, because right now everything is kind of coming from different directions, but by the end of the day we should have a clearer idea of exactly what's been playing out today.
Sure. Thank you, Sukrita, for talking to us about Manipur. Next, we will talk to Atri Mitra, who covers West Bengal for us. In this first phase, 3 seats in North Bengal are going to polls. They are Alipurduar, Cooch Behar, and Jalpaiguri. Now, interestingly, these 3 seats were won by the BJP in 2019. And the BJP also considers the North Bengal belt its stronghold in the state. And the TMC has been like going all out to put up a challenge to the BJP here. Thank you, Atri, for joining us. First, I wanted to ask you about violence again, because there have also been reports of violence coming in from West Bengal. Can you just talk about any specific incidents that have happened so far? Atri, if you could unmute yourself. Can you hear us, Atri? Yeah. So, Atri, I was asking you about how in North Bengal there are 3 seats that are going to polls in phase 1, and all these 3 seats were won by the BJP in 2019. And this time the TMC is trying to put up a challenge and dress these back from the BJP. So how is it playing out on the ground? And there have also been instances of violence in these seats. So could you just flag any specific instances of violence today on polling day? Okay, I think we can get back to 3. Can we head to Avnish, who covers Uttarakhand for us?
Yeah, hi.
Hi. So my colleague Flora will take over from here. She's going to ask you a couple of questions on what's at stake at Uttarakhand.
Sure.
Hi, Avish. Can you tell us what is the polling percentage for starters? Let's begin with what is the polling percentage that has been recorded for Uttarakhand so far?
So the last information we have was till 3 p.m. and we have a voter turnout of around 45 to 46%. The exact number is 45.62%. And at the same time, in 2019, the polling percentage was around 48.42%. So slightly less voting than the last Lok Sabha elections. But maybe because because it's very sunny and there is a lot of heat over there. So maybe in the coming hours, the percentage is expected to get better.
On to you. We are speaking to Asad Rahman, our correspondent in Uttar Pradesh. Asad, if you can give us an update on the polling percentage there up until now.
So in UP till 3 p.m., the polling has been at 47.44%, and it's supposed to increase in the early evening and late evening today, and we'll have to wait till 6 p.m. to know what the final voting percentage is.
Right. Thank you, Asad. Coming back to you, Avish. Let's talk about the 5 seats in Uttarakhand that are up for polling today. What do you see, and what can you tell us about the contests there?
I mean, the election in like this year, the election in Uttarakhand is not as much as excited as we were expecting it to be, because in on some of the seats, it is what people are believing that the opposition has opposition is not fighting with all of their strength, and that is why BJP in this election has an upper hand. Also because of the recent things which happened, the consecration of Ram Mandir in Ayodhya, and also the uniform civil code, because Uttarakhand became the first state to implement the law. So because of those issues, and also, I mean, Congress not campaigning with their full potential, and we can understand this by the fact that only Priyanka Gandhi was the only national leader who came to address a rally, while on the BJP side, Prime Minister Modi addressed two rallies. Other than that, Amit Shah was here, Rajnath Singh was here, JP Nadda was also here, and even Yogi Adityanath also came to address a few rallies in Uttarakhand. So because of that, we can say that BJP at this point has an upper hand, but there are at least two seats, the seat of Haridwar and the Garhwal seat, on which Congress seems to be giving BJP a fight.
Absolutely. Can you tell us a little bit about the candidates from Garhwal and Haridwar?
From Garhwal, the BJP, these two are the seats where BJP did not give ticket to their sitting MPs. From Garhwal, earlier, the former Chief Minister Tirath Singh Rawat was the candidate in the 2019, and he's the sitting MP. Uh, in place of him, BJP has given ticket to Anil Baluni, who is the national media in charge of the BJP, and he is contesting against Ganesh Kodial, who is the former state president of Congress and also a two-time MLA. Uh, in Haridwar, former Chief Minister Trivendra Singh Rawat is given ticket in instead of Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank on the BJP side, while Harish Rawat, who was the former Chief Minister of the state, his son Virendra Rawat is contesting from the Haridwar seat. So these two seats will be interesting, because for all four candidates, it's a matter of uh, you know uh, all all four candidates have to they need to win this seat, because for Harish Rawat it is also a matter of pride, because he lost last few elections, and because of that, it is important for him to make sure that his son wins from that seat. And also, it is important for Trivendra Singh Rawat, who was the former chief minister, and it's important for him to win the seat.
Can you tell us what are the key issues that the BJP focused on during its campaign, and what are the key issues that the Congress highlighted?
Yeah, as Liz mentioned earlier, that the BJP is mainly focusing on Prime Minister Narendra Modi and whatever they have done in the last few years. So BJP is focusing mainly on the national issues. It is talking about the Ram Mandir issue, the UCC in the state, then the central schemes like the Lakpati Didi scheme and Har Ghar Bijli scheme. Other than that, the Ujjwala Yojana, and also the development projects which they have kind of brought to the state, like the Rishikesh Karnaprayag railway line, and also like the Char Dham road and other things. While on the other side, the Congress is focusing more on the local issues. It has been highlighting the Agniveer scheme in the state. It also talked about the Ankita Bhandari murder case, the unemployment in the state, and also the migration. So yeah, we can see a big contrast between the campaign of both the parties. And while the BJP was focusing more on the national issue and the charisma of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, Congress was kind of focusing more on the local issues.
Since its inception, Uttarakhand, the caste politics in the state is very evident. You know, there is a clear divide between the Thakurs and the Brahmins.
Yeah.
Please shed some light on that.
Yeah, as you rightly said, the state of Uttarakhand has a majority of upper caste Hindus, and the Brahmins and the Thakur, they are like around 60 to 65% voters of the state. However, in this election, what I have been feeling is that because both of these castes generally associate with the BJP, because of the the sense of Hinduism and other things BJP is focusing on. So what I am feeling is that uh, this time the Lok Sabha election will will not have as much impact of the caste factor as it used to be, and probably because of that, what I see is that the issues on which both the Congress and BJP are fighting, they are going to be it's going to be the deciding factor in the election.
Absolutely. Viewers, we are also joined by our correspondents Asad Rahman in Uttar Pradesh and Oitri Mitra in West Bengal. And if you have any queries for our reporters, our correspondents on ground, please do share your questions in the comment section. Avnish, taking the same thread of caste politics, there's also a regionalistic divide between Garhwal and Kumaon, right? Can you tell us something about that?
Yeah, I mean, Uttarakhand is a very culturally diverse state, and this diversity is mainly, there is a clear partition between the Garhwal and the Kumaon region, and because of this difference in the culture and traditions, this has been always a major issue, both electorally and on the social level. But what I feel is that this issue is more in the on the level of the Vidhan Sabha elections, because there are just five Lok Sabha seats in the state, and there are several Lok Sabha seats which have like parts both in the Garhwal and the Kumaon region. So because of that, that differentiation does not matter as much as it does in the Vidhan Sabha elections. And because of that, I feel like this is another factor which is not going to play as big a role as it could in the state elections.
Avnish, next, we are moving on to Asad Rahman from Uttar Pradesh. Asad, Uttar Pradesh is witnessing polls in 8 seats currently in the phase one of the 18th Lok Sabha polls. Can you tell us something about the important seats?
There are 8 seats which are going to polls today, which have gone to polls, and out of them, there are some very crucial seats because the Western UP belt has been a very crucial area for the BJP. Among the important seats is Nagina is one where Azad Samaj Party President Chandrasekhar Azad is contesting, and this is a make or break sort of election for him. And if he does well, it's going to improve his political prospects in the future. And then other important seats include Rampur, where Azam Khan has great influence, and even though he's in jail, he still has great influence. And the Samajwadi Party has gone against him and has fielded Maulana Mobiullah from the seat. And there is some dissent among the Samajwadi Party cadre in Rampur regarding the candidature of the Maulana, who's based in Delhi, who's based in Delhi. Then other important seats include Kairana, Muzaffarnagar, Pilibhit, which was the seat of Varun Gandhi, and this time it is former Congress leader Jitin Prasad, and he's a state minister who's contesting the Pilibhit seat. So that's another important seat. Then there is Muradabad, which is also an important seat because the BJP, the Samajwadi Party has not given a ticket to the sitting MP ST Hassan and has given it instead to Ruchi Veera, who's a former Bijnor MLA. So there are these important factors as well for the election, because the Western UP belt is very high on production of sugarcane. So issues regarding farmers are very important on these seats, and those issues will play a crucial role in these elections. Uh, Apart from the central issues which are uniform across the country, like unemployment and Agniveer scheme and inflation and the Ram Temple consecration ceremony on January 22nd. Issues which are local in nature in Western UP are the sugarcane dues, the price of sugarcane that is being given by the government to the farmers. The recent farmer protests are very important. Then Jayant Chaudhary recently switched over from the opposition camp to the BJP and the NDA. So it will be interesting to see what kind of impact Jayant has on the politics in Western UP, and whether he is able to help the BJP win most of the seats out of the 8 which have gone to polls today, or if the alliance with the BJP doesn't help the NDA overall or the RLD. So these are some of the really important issues. Another important issue that I feel will play a role is the anger among the Thakur or the Rajput community in Western UP. They've come out in public saying that they're not going to support BJP candidates in Western UP on these seats, and whether that actually dents the BJP's vote bank is something that we'll only know once the election results are out. But it is something that has worried the BJP in the last few weeks, since resentment among the Thakur and Rajput community came out in the public for the BJP.
Manifesto wise, can you see any stark difference when it comes to the BJP manifesto and the SP promises?
The Samajwadi Party has made several promises. Some of their interesting things include that they've promised that the Agniveer scheme is going to be it's going to be uh, it's going to be rolled back, and that they are going to recruit people as full-time employees of the Indian Army. They've also promised several recruitments in the police force. Another interesting promise by the Samajwadi Party is that they're going to give free data, and they're calling it the Data and Atta scheme, which is along with your monthly ration that you get, the food grain that the people get. They will also get data worth rupees 500 for their mobile phones, and so they've made other promises also in terms of women's safety, industry, and other things. But these are the more important and the more interesting promises being made by the Samajwadi Party in their manifesto.
Thank you so much, Asad. And now moving on to Atri Mitra in West Bengal. Atri, can you tell us what is the poll voter turnout as far as West Bengal is concerned? It was leading for a very long time, and can you tell us what are the current numbers?
Yeah, right now the voter turnout is around 70% in three seats, Kuch Bihar, Alipurduar and Jalpaiguri. The exact figure will come, I think, around 6 p.m. around. But it will be more than 80% as West Bengal traditionally happened, the turnout basically.
Right. We have had reports since morning of the polls being marred by violence, especially in Kuch Bihar. Then the TMC and the BJP workers have clashed. Can you tell us about the incidents that have taken place so far as poll violence is concerned in West Bengal?
Yeah, violence became a tradition in West Bengal election, and especially in Kuch Bihar. You can see last time also in 2019 and 2021 as well. Violence took place in the Kuch Bihar, especially in Dinata Assembly constituency. This time also, from the very morning, the report came of violence, intimidation, and assault in the Kuch Bihar Kuch Bihar Lok Sabha constituency, especially around Dinhata, where the TMC heavyweight MLA was there in Udayango, and also Nishit Pramanik's main stronghold of Nishit Pramanik also there. So there are many complaints both from BJP and TMC that some Chandamari and some areas there are complaints that TMC attacked BJP supporters and BJP booth president, BJP polling agents, and they tried to intimidate the voters, and BJP booth president injured there. In Dinhata also there are some complaint that BJP attacked TMC supporters, and TMC supporters called the central forces to interfere the situation, and TMC supporters complained the BJP supporters with motorbike, they are coming and threatening to the voters not to go to the booth. So that type of allegation is coming throughout the day in the Coach Bihar Lok Sabha constituency, and some of stray incident, also stray violence incident and complaint came from Alipurduar and Jalpaiguri, but more or less Alipurduar Jalpaiguri election was more or less peaceful.
Right. What has been the highlight of BJP's campaign in West Bengal so far?
Especially BJP highlighted the one main their highlight is the corruption, allegation against TMC, and as well the national stability and leadership of Narendra Modi and their developmental projects. That is also double engine sarkar for development. West Bengal need double engine sarkar. That all the issues BJP basically highlighted. But main they highlighted the from 2000 after 2021 assembly election, many corruption allegation was there against TMC, school job scam, cattle smuggling, coal smuggling. There are many corruption allegations, and two cabinet minister of TMC already went to jail, and they are already in judicial custody. The strong man of TMC in Birbhum, Anubroto Mondol, is in Tihar jail. So that is the main issue BJP is highlighting against TMC, the corruption basically.
Right. I would like to remind our viewers that you can visit our website indianexpress.com for all the updates and analytical pieces and explainers on the ongoing Lok Sabha polls. Audrey, also I would like to ask you, Sandesh Khali has been the headline maker, the news maker for TMC and also the BJP in West Bengal. How is the TMC, sort of mitigating and troubleshooting the Sandesh Khali blip on their portfolio?
TMC basically saying that the Sheikh Shahjahan, the main accused, and other accused of the Sandesh Khali incident, they are highlighting that though they are in CBI custody, but they are being arrested by the West Bengal police, and Mamata Banerjee government is has the no zero tolerance on these type of incident. So they are basically the West Bengal police, West Bengal administration strictly took the step and arrested Sheikh Shahjahan and other accused in the Sandesh Kali incident. As well, they are also saying that Sandesh Kali is a stray incident, and that is happened only in Sandesh Kali, the remote place of Sundarban. But that is not the general feature of West Bengal. They are trying to prove that in their campaign that that is not the general feature of the West Bengal and the general feature of the ruling party. But BJP is highlighting that Sandesh Kali, that is a heinous crime going through for two and more years, and no administration intervened in the incident, and many FIR also filed in Sandesh Kali police station, but police took no steps until and unless the local people agitated, local people came out in the street. Then, on the pressure of the local people, Mamata Banerjee administration took steps.
Right. Audrey, I would also like to know that, TMC and Congress have been in this on again, off again relationship when it comes to the India alliance. So, how is it working out there in West Bengal when it comes to the India Bloc alliance?
Yeah, I can give you the today's example. Today, Mamata Banerjee went to Murshidabad, and she addressed two rally in Murshidabad and Jangipur. Murshidabad is known the strong bastion of Congress in West Bengal, and they are, and also in Murshidabad, Congress State President Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary and CPM State Secretary Mohammad Selim is fighting. They are from Murshidabad in Bahrampur seat and Murshidabad seat. Mamata Banerjee, in in her address in Murshidabad said I made the India alliance and we are the main part in India in West Bengal. So they are CPN and BJP, CPM and Congress are the B team of BJP, and they are basically helping BJP in West Bengal. So don't vote for India to Congress and CPM. If you want to vote for India, then vote for TMC. We are the only India alliance partner in this West Bengal, and we are fighting against BJP. We have alliance in Delhi, but in West Bengal we are only party who are fighting against BJP. That is the narrative Mamata Banerjee and TMC leaders spreading in West Bengal, and on the other hand, Congress and CPM also trying say that they are fighting both against TMC and BJP, and TMC had hidden attachment with BJP to safeguard their leaders who are corrupted, especially the nephew of Mamata Banerjee, Abhishek Banerjee, who has many allegations of corruption against Abhishek Banerjee, and to safeguard to Abhishek Banerjee, Mamata Banerjee is doing hidden understanding with BJP. That is the narrative of Congress and CPM.
Absolutely. Also, the fact that TMC is contesting in 4 seats in Assam. Can you tell us what has been Mamata Banerjee's highlight when it comes to campaigning in those 4 seats of TMC in Assam?
Basically they are trying to prove in Assam. Basically, one thing is how they developed, how they conducting many social program. Like Konyasri, Lokhir Bhandar type of program in West Bengal. How West Bengal people are benefited from that social networking, social development program, and also Mamata Banerjee tried to establish that they are the main partner and leader of the India alliance. So if you want to fight against BJP, you should support TMC to strengthen TMC to fight and battle against BJP. That is their main point.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Audrey. And now moving on to our correspondent Vallabh Ozarkar in Maharashtra. Vallabh, can you tell us what is the voter turnout percentage up until now?
So till 3 p.m., the voter turnout was around 44.14%. It's going to increase by 5 points. Latest figures will come in some time. But 44 is the recent figure, which is officially talking.
Vallabh, can you turn up the volume on your system, on your phone, or on your laptop, whichever device you are logged in with?
Yeah.
Yeah. Can you please repeat what is the voter turnout
So
percentage that you
44
mentioned?
till 3 p.m. 44% is the voter turnout. It is going to increase by 5 p.m. The recent figures will come. But so far, the official figure is 44%. It is going to increase by like 45 to 56% as it was last year, last election.
Right. Can you tell us what are the key constituencies? For example, we know that in Nagpur, Nitin Gadkari, Union Minister Nitin Gadkari is contesting, and we have Gadchiroli where Ashok Nene is also contesting. Can you tell us what are the key constituencies and the fights that we are looking at in Maharashtra?
There are total five constituencies in the first phase. One of them is Nagpur, where Nitin Gadkari is in the fray. Then there is Chandrapur constituency, where in the sitting state minister Sudhir Mungantiwar is in fray. And the four out of five in 4 out of 5 seats, there is a straight fight between BJP and Congress. There is only one seat, Ramtek constituency, wherein Eknath Shinde-led Shiv Sena has fielded its candidate, and he is going to fight against, contesting against is contesting against the Congress Prashant Padwale. So the BJP, I'm audible, right?
Yeah, you are audible. Please be a little louder.
Okay. So there are four out of five seats. There is a straight fight between BJP and Congress, and it has been survival. It's a fight. Like, Congress is fighting for survival, while the BJP is it's a prestige issue for them. The Vidarbha Eastern Vidarbha region where these five seats are, it's a very it has been a stronghold of Congress, but they have lost it since 2014 when there was Modi wave and the BJP came to power. So now this is like, and in the last election, Chandrapur was only seat in the state where the Congress had won. And so now this is very prestige issue for survival issue for Congress and the prestige issue for BJP. And hence the BJP has put on the first rally of Prime Minister took place in Chandrapur only because it was like for them it was a prestige issue.
Right. Because it's a, head-on contest in these five seats between the BJP and Congress, can you tell us what have been the highlights of both the parties when it came to campaigning?
So the BJP is basically raking up they are banking on the development agenda, the work done by the Prime Minister Modi, the agenda of Prime Minister Modi, and the Ram Mandir issue, Hindutva, and the instability versus stability. But whereas the Congress is banking on, they are raking up the issue like growing unemployment, uh, mm, price rise. Then there are other farmers distress, Naxalism in the area. So this kind of issues that they are being raked up by Congress.
Right. And how is it working out? Because the BJP is with NCP and Eknath Shinde led Shiv Sena, and Congress is with NCP Sharad Pawar and with Uddhav Thackeray led Shiv Sena. So, how is the dynamic actually working out?
So in these five seats, there is no such impact of the split that took place in NCP and Shiv Sena because the Sena factor is and NCP factor is not working here. I mean there are no seats as such, and it's a straight fight between BJP and Congress only. But in later on, there will be effect of the split and the impact of sympathy wave for the NCP and Sharad Pawar led NCP and Uddhav Thackeray led NCP will come to fore. But right now, at this stage, there is only straight fight between BJP and the Congress.
Absolutely. And can you tell us that apart from these five seats, what are the other seats that we can look at for an interesting fight in the second phase?
In the second phase, there is Nanded. Nanded is a place where the former Chief Minister of Maharashtra, Ashok Chavan, is who has switched to BJP right now. So that will be interesting seat. So there will be a tough fight because the strongest leader has come to the BJP side, and now the voters. It will be very interesting to see whether the voters have also switched from Congress to with Ashok Chavan. So that will be interesting seat.
Thank you, Vallabh. Thank you for joining us in this discussion. So, viewers, those were our reporters in conversation with me. Avnish Mishra from Uttarakhand, Asad Rahman from Uttar Pradesh, Atri Mitra from West Bengal, and Vallabh Ozarkar from Maharashtra. I am Flora Swai, and you were watching all the live election updates on the official YouTube channel of the Indian Express. For more analytical pieces and updates on the 18th Lok Sabha polls phase 1, you can visit our website indianexpress.com or also download our app. That's all from us here today. Thank you.